If you've ever read the Harry Potter books, you're probably flabbergasted by the amount of detail J.K. Rowling put into the characters' physical appearances and personalities. Because of the level of detail, the cast and crew of the Harry Potter movies had their work cut out for them. From hairstyles to specific traits to body type, the casting directors had to find the perfect match to play the witches and wizards on the big screen. The actors and actresses of the Harry Potter movies sometimes matched the book spot on, whereas other times they missed the mark completely. First up in the Scarlet and Gold Gryffindor house is Ginny Weasley. In the books, she's described as having a fiery and vivacious personality, which Bonnie Wright didn't fully capture. Bonnie was often timid, shy, soft-spoken, and awkward in the movies, especially around Harry. In the books, Ginny was the most vibrant and energetic around her friends, one of which was Harry. Ginny was also described in the books as having bold and long red hair, bright brown eyes, and a face full of freckles. Bonnie's hair is closer to brown than red, and she didn't have a freckle in sight. Unfortunately, Bonnie didn't completely capture Ginny's exciting essence from the novels. Next up is one of Gryffindor's most intelligent members, Hermione Granger. In the books, she's described as having bushy, thick hair and buck front teeth. Hermione's big teeth are quite humorous, given that her parents are dentists to muggles.
They attend to people's teeth.
Fascinating.
Although in the Chamber of Secrets, Hermione's teeth become reduced in size because of a spell Draco Malfoy casts on her. Emma Watson's hair was big and bushy in the beginning, but as the movies progress, it becomes softer, silkier, and flatter. Emma also didn't have buck teeth at any point in the movies. In the books, most readers would consider Hermione to be nerdier and perhaps not as gorgeous as Emma. That being said, one thing Emma captured quite well in the movies was the witty and clever nature of Hermione Granger. Before Albus Dumbledore was the headmaster at Hogwarts, he was sorted into the Gryffindor house when he attended the school. Dumbledore is described as having sharp blue eyes, a long crooked nose from being broken on a few occasions, a silver beard, and wearing half-moon glasses. He's also described as having a captivating presence similarly to an influential visionary. Dumbledore was played by two actors, Richard Harris and Michael Gambon. Richard absolutely captured Dumbledore's description from the books. The only thing that was off was his beard was more white than silver. Michael missed the mark a little on the personality aspects, as he was often stressful to be around and powerful in a negative way. For example, in the Goblet of Fire, he was rather harsh on Harry during the Triwizard Tournament, instead of being hopeful and supportive. He also didn't wear the half-moon glasses like Richard did. Many members of the Weasley family are sorted into the Gryffindor house. Ronald is no exception. Perhaps it's the wicked red hair that plays a part? Only the Sorting Hat would know for sure. Ron is described in the books as having the Weasley red hair, a long nose, a face full of freckles, and a lanky frame with disproportionate hands and feet. Rupert Grint definitely had the red hair down pat, but his nose was wider and he wasn't super lean. Throughout the movies, Rupert filled out and became more muscular and big, which was unlike Ron in the books. However, it'd be impossible for the casting crew to know exactly what the actors and actresses would look like in the future, especially since they were casting quite young. Another trusty member of the Gryffindor house is Neville Longbottom. Neville is described as having blonde hair, a round face, and stout figure. Unfortunately, Matthew Lewis didn't have blonde hair or a round face. Instead, he had brown hair and an oval face. At the start of the movies, Matthew was stout and short, but as many fans know, puberty hit him well as he grew up to be taller and leaner. Although, how could the casting directors possibly know that Matthew would look so much different with age? While Matthew may not have captured the physical descriptions of Neville, he did capture the anxious, shy, brave, and klutzy personality of Neville exceptionally well. This was true in the first movie when he stood up to Harry, Hermione, and Ron for leaving the corridors late at night, and it was true in the last movie when he helped Harry defeat the Dark Lord. The most important character in Harry Potter is, well, Harry Potter. In the books, Harry has green eyes, he's petite and skinny, and has disgruntled jet black hair. Oh, and he has a thin, lightning-shaped scar on his forehead, which is one of the few things the insecure boy liked about himself in the beginning. Daniel Radcliffe captured the skinny figure of Harry Potter, but he had blue eyes and neat brown hair. Many fans would have liked to see the brilliant green eyes of Harry as they mimic his mother's eyes, which is an important aspect of the story. But of course, this color is the rarest in people.
No offense, but I really don't care.
Harry did a good job of capturing the courageous character, and he grew more confident as the movies went on, just like Harry did in the books. Although some of these characters looked much different from the books, there are some characters who couldn't have been more accurately casted. A great example of this is Dean Thomas. Dean is one of the secondary characters recurring in the books. The books describe Dean as having dark hair and dark skin, and it was apparent that he was of African descent. He was also very tall and had a notably long neck. Dean had a tough upbringing, which made him both tolerant and open-minded. Alfred Enoch absolutely embodied the physical characteristics of Dean. He was even taller than Ron, which was a distinction made in the books. Alfred also did a great job of demonstrating Dean's personality, as he was open to new ideas and could handle a lot of pressure. Every great story needs some comic relief, and that's precisely what Fred and George Weasley contributed to the story. In the books, Fred is the more energetic, sarcastic, and bold twin, whereas George is the humble, reserved, and quiet-humored twin. The identical twins are described as having the trademark red Weasley hair and a stocky build. In the movies, James and Oliver Phelps are tall and lanky, which was a discrepancy. However, they did an amazing job of providing comic relief to the story and embodied Fred and George's personalities. It must be hard to cast twins in a movie. With that in mind, the casting crew did an excellent job. The eldest child of the big Weasley family is Bill Weasley. Bill isn't a big character in the books until much later, as he's already finished school at Hogwarts when Ron begins his education. When he makes his appearance, Bill is described as having red hair and long scars, and disfigurations on his face as a result of a nasty fight with Fenrir Greyback. Domhnall Gleeson looked much like a Weasley, but the scars on his face were tame in comparison to the book's description. Many would have appreciated more gruesome scars, as that would better capture the divided state and aggression of the wizarding world. Another member of the Hogwarts and Gryffindor House alumni is Remus Lupin. Remus is a werewolf, which has caused difficulties in his life, which is why he's described as having gray flecks in his hair despite his young age, a sickly and exhausted appearance, and worn-out clothes. After all, who wouldn't look a little distraught after running through the woods all night howling? David Thewlis did a great job of embodying the tiresome appearance of Remus, but his wardrobe and hair weren't on par in the movies. This is unfortunate, as it would have been an easy fix to put some gray hair dye in David's hair and make some tears in his clothes. Some might have been shocked by the fact that Sirius Black was a member of the Gryffindor house back in the day. Sirius's reputation as a prisoner of Azkaban definitely preceded him. His appearance got the better of him too, as he was described in the books as being bony, skeleton-like, and crazed-looking due to his hard life. He also had dirty, long hair that fell to his elbows, sunken eyes, oily skin, and yellow teeth in the books. Sirius is definitely one scary-looking guy, but he had good intentions to help Harry, as he was an old friend of Harry's father, James. Gary Oldman captured the appearance quite well, but was lacking other aspects of Sirius's sickly appearance. He also lacked the long hair and skeletal look. Before Minerva McGonagall was a professor at Hogwarts, she attended the school and was sorted into the Gryffindor house. Minerva is described as having black hair that she rarely let down and was intense looking. She often looked prim and pursed her lips. Occasionally, she would let loose, whereby she appeared to be an entirely different person. Maggie Smith did an amazing job of capturing Minerva's appearance and personality, although she was described as younger looking in the books compared to the movies. One detail they forgot to include was Minerva's square spectacles. Minerva often wore these glasses to match the markings of her animagus and Patronus, which was a silver tabby cat. This is a minor detail, otherwise the casting crew did an excellent job. Seamus Finnigan is one of Harry Potter's quirkier characters and a member of the Gryffindor house. In the books, Seamus is described as having an Irish accent, sandy-colored hair, and a sloppy appearance. He also has an impeccable knack for making things explode by mistake. Devin Murray did a good job with the Irish accent and sloppy clothes in the movie. He's often blowing things up by mistake in the movies, leaving his face covered in black residue and his hair spiky and burnt. The one thing Devin was missing was the sandy hair, but otherwise, he was spot on. In the Goblet of Fire, Harry takes Parvati Patil to the Yule Ball, which is one of the first moments we really notice this Gryffindor house character. Parvati is described as having long black hair that is often braided, and she has a pretty appearance. She's also known for being into fashion and gossip, similarly to her good friend Lavender Brown.
Shefali Chowdhury is gorgeous, however. Her long hair was rarely braided in the movies. Instead, it was often worn in a half ponytail. Shefali did an excellent job of playing the giggly and smiley character of Parvati.
She was also witty and easygoing like Parvati was in the books. Last but not least, we have the cute, innocent Colin Creevey. Colin is one of the younger characters in the books and he's sorted into Gryffindor house. It's implied that he looks up to Harry like a hero, and he's often described as being overly excitable. He is also petite and has mousy brown hair. Hugh Mitchell did a superb job of embodying the cheerfulness and high energy of Colin. He also looked very much like Colin in the movies. The casting crew did an excellent job with him, even though he wasn't a main character. J.K. Rowling is known for being a descriptive and imaginative writer in the Harry Potter novels. While this is exceptional for a reader, you can probably understand how it would be a challenge for casting directors to get every little detail from the books onto the big screen. And for more videos about Harry Potter and fandoms, subscribe to The Things. We'll catch you next time.